I know how much she quoted. I'll do it for 50k less than.
Oh my god, are we gonna fight about this right now?
It's not like we stole a crore from each other.
You slid into my DMs.
Gonna sound a little bimbo-like.
We were not talking to each other for a really long time.
Why are we called frenemies? What is our dynamic like?
We connect on a lot of levels.
It would bother me if like you were doing better than me.
Okay.
Is this bitch in my frame? You're taking my light away.
I am your light. What do you mean?
Hi guys, welcome to Frenemies by
Meg and Rad. Obviously, I'm Meg and this is Rad, just in case if you didn't know and or if you're new here.
Yes, if you guys are new here, Meg and I have been friends for
I think almost 8 years now. Wow.
basically we have been friends for so long and we've just shared like a really interesting dynamic for so long and we wanted to kind of stay authentic to that, which is also why it's called frenemies, because that's the relationship we share with each other.
Like we have the same sort of vibe and we connect on a lot of levels. That's why we have come together because why are you laughing?
Okay, why are we called frenemies? What is our dynamic like? I feel like over the years, everyone has kind of speculated the dynamic we've had, and also we've had a dynamic that's constantly shifted.
Yeah, we have like a love-hate relationship. When
Yeah.
we love each other too much and we are so involved that people are like, oh my god, can you hang with us because you're always together?
Yeah.
Or if we hate each other, then we're like not meeting.
Yeah, for like months at a stretch, and I feel like we truly have a relationship where we can kill for each other, but we can also kill each other.
Can we jump into the part where we were not talking to each other for a really long time, and then I was at a store shopping for a bag that I really wanted for a really long time.
Okay, this story is gonna sound a little bimbo-like because we're talking about shopping and bags, but it's truly a lot deeper than that, which we will get into.
Yeah, but so I was like, there was nobody else. I really wanted it. I wanted approval, and
This was your first ever like luxury bag, like major expensive
purchase, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted a yes, and I knew a lot of people who would say no for me to buy, but she would be the only person who would be like, you deserve it.
I would never say no for spending money in whatever way possible. That would never be me.
Yeah.
And I remember getting this call and we hadn't spoken for about 4 months. I honest to God do not remember what the fight was about, or I would have.
Yeah, that's the longest that we have not spoken to each
Yeah,
other in
to
the
each
last
other.
8 years.
Yeah. And this was like a good like 4 months. We hadn't spoken to each other. We hadn't really, even when we were out in public, and if we did bump into each other, it was very cold. Yeah, it was very like, okay, yeah, why is she here? But it's fine, you know? And I knew she was traveling, of course. We were still, were we following each other on it?
I think we never unfollowed. We didn't want people to speculate that there's something wrong.
But I knew she's traveling and she's abroad, and I randomly get this FaceTime call from Meghna.
What did you think? When
I was literally, this was my reaction. I picked up the phone, I was like,
and actually, you know, Radhika being Radhika, she'd be like, of course she's back.
it's like, of course, this bitch is back in my life. Like, I thought it would be more like a, I've missed you and I'm in this beautiful place and I wish you were here. But instead, she has like a wine glass or a champagne glass in her hand. She's at the Dior store in, where were you? Was it Italy?
I was in Prague. Yeah.
Prague, okay. She was in Prague and I just get this phone call and I'm like, what the hell is happening? And like, hi, like it was a very speculative, I still
I wasn't even on call. It wasn't my face, it was the bag. And I was just like, so what do you think? Should I just go for it? And she's like, you wanted this for so long and I remember you talking about it.
Yeah. I was like, dude, you have worked so hard all your life and you have not rewarded yourself enough. And this bag should be like the kind of reward you give to yourself and go for it. And we've spoken in months and I remember like that was it. And we started laughing. She bought the bag. She called me after. She unboxed it for me, I think. And that was just, it was one of those things that I don't even, did we ever talk about what the conflict was?
No, I think after a while you just forget. You don't even, after a while, if you're fighting with someone, you don't even know what the fight is about because it's been so long and there's so many things that happen in your life that you're like, oh, but what were we actually fighting about?
I do not, for the life of me, remember what that fight was.
But we have had so many little fights.
Petty fights. We've had a lot of petty fights and it's gotten like really nasty and because we both have this habit of like just giving the most like witty and sarcastic remarks.
And there are some times where, because we know each other in and out, so there are some times where we just hit below the belt and we feel bad about saying that, but in the heat of the moment, you're like, you.
Yeah, but do you feel bad about it later?
I feel bad about it. I'm like, why? Because
Why don't you apologize? If you're feeling bad.
I do apologize. I think I'm the kind of person who does it. I don't hold grudges. So after a while, I'm just like, we had so many good moments in life that this is so petty to be fighting about. Because
Like it's not like we stole a crore from each other.
it's not like that's what happened. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's a saucy topic. But yeah, I think on a very moral level, we are very much the same person. Like we obviously have different personalities, we have different hobbies, we do different things. But I think we have a very similar moral high ground. Like we are very sure of certain things in life about like lying and like stealing and loyalty. Basically, yeah, I just think we've had a very similar stance on most of the things in life.
And there's so many people who have actually come and gone from our lives, but that's what just got us closer. And
We've grown up together because these were like our most formative years.
we create content on lifestyle, fashion, and travel. So there are a lot of opportunities that come in for us together, which is great for us because we love traveling together. We love doing the same things. But she's more of like a day person and I'm a night person. So sometimes we have a fight about that.
But do you want to get into like, do you think it's been challenging to kind of have a really close frenemy who also like does the same thing as you? Like, do you think it gets challenging for you?
Sometimes, of course, it does because we are in the same league, and there are some things because we are creating the same type of content. Sometimes it happens. More towards me. Okay, sorry. I'm sweating, bro.
Shit, let me. Where's the AC? Oh.
आप कट कर दो ये.
नहीं कट मत करो, कुछ कट मत करो, कभी भी कट मत करो.
But I think I have an issue with talking about something and going to some place else where I'm just like, no. Oh, but you know what, this happened.
It's called ADHD. I'm pretty sure. Let's talk about the fact that we've both been doing the same thing.
But we have a little different personalities.
We have different personalities, of course, but like to an outsider, I feel like they would look at our Instagram profiles and think that we lead very similar lives. Or that we have very similar routines, or that we have very similar aesthetic.
Choices. Yeah. I think after a while you just grow on. Like you just hang out so much. We spend so much time together that we're like, oh, you're like, we actually, there's so many times where she does something and I'm like, oh my God, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But also, I mean, isn't that what friendship is about? You obviously get along with like-minded people. That's literally what friendship is about. And the beauty of this is that we also are in the same industry and we do pretty much the same thing. And I definitely think years ago it would bother me if like you were doing better than me or you had opportunities that I didn't, but I don't think it was ever coming from like a nasty space.
Just you want to do better than like you just want to do better for yourself.
Like I think that quote where like you always want them to do well, but never as good as you. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah, I think it was always like that space, but obviously as you mature and you grow old and you're also obviously learning every day, you kind of just get to a place where you're like, you know what? Let them do them. He's bored. My dog is already bored of our podcast.
Stop talking, bitches.
Mommy, you have to watch for me. But
this is not a good start. Yeah, I think now we've really reached such a secure place in our lives that it doesn't kind of
Bother.
yeah, it doesn't feel bad. It's most of the times we're picking up the phone on each other and being like, hey, like I'm doing this, are you also doing this campaign? Like if not, like why don't you ask your management to like reach out and also
Let's do it
this?
together.
Yeah.
Like it'll be so cute that we can, and we just come up with ideas and concepts where, oh my god, we can do this together. It'll be cuter and people would love it.
Even with travel, if like a brand reaches out to us, it's always like, okay, they reached out to me, and so many times we have literally texted the brand POC being like, hey, Meghna also has a US visa, Radhika is also interested, you know, without even talking to each other. This literally happened like a week ago.
Yeah.
With the
And we literally met, and then we had a conversation about, she's like, oh, someone reached out. I was like, they reached out to me, and I was like, I told them, let's do it together. And she said, I said the same thing.
I said the same thing, and we showed our phones to each other, and without even talking to each other, we're like, yeah, why don't you ask Radhika? Why don't you ask Meghna? Like, this should also be like a thing.
Yeah. I think we've reached a very secure place in our lives right now that we don't fight about these petty things where sometimes she's doing something and I'm happy with it. Or sometimes I don't want to do
We
it.
should fight about petty things.
Not when it comes to I know, but not come to when it comes to work. Well, sometimes it comes to friendship where she has a fallout with someone and I'm still like talking to her and she'd be like, why are you still talking?
What is her? Is this about someone specific in our lives? Because you were very
Not in your
sure.
life anymore. But someone does something bad to her, like really bad, that is gonna hurt me. Of course, I'm not gonna be friends with the person.
Yeah.
So it just ethics.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, okay.
I mean, yeah, I think we obviously still have like our petty fights where like if Meghna's like left something on my floor and I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
But she is the Monica when it comes to that. Because she's so particular about things and she's like, oh my god, you just took a shower.
Firstly,
we just thought about this yesterday in the morning.
Firstly, I want to understand, my house has 3 bathrooms, okay? One is a powder room, one is my own bathroom, one is for her and one is for the staff, okay? I don't know why she's not showered in her own bathroom. She has decided to shower in my bathroom. Same water, same everything, same products.
Because no, it's not the same products. We'll come to.
There's a Forest Essentials body wash there. It's just as good.
Oh my god, are we gonna fight about this right now?
I just don't know why you've kept your clothes on the floor next to the laundry basket. There's a laundry basket that is dedicated.
Because I thought after I changed the outfit, I'm gonna wear the outfit again. I didn't want to put it in the laundry basket, then I have to wear new clothes.
Okay, point being, we do still fight over petty things a lot, but like I don't think they're ever like very consequential to our being. Yeah. Like it's not like we're fighting about, oh, you lied to me and you did this and you went behind my back and you said shit about me.
That used to happen earlier.
It used to happen. Of course it used to happen. We've also, like I said, we've grown up together in that sense.
Also because it didn't happen directly, but it was just people petting us against each other, where it wasn't really like, oh my god, but Radhika said this about you. And
I think a lot of people were benefiting for a really long time.
They were also asking us not to talk to each other because it doesn't work out, or maybe we'll have fights because of that. But it was never the case, and we didn't know for the longest time. But once we started talking about it, we were like, why were we not talking about it?
I mean, for the longest time, we would never really discuss money, like how much she's charging for a particular social media deliverable or how much I'm charging. But then once we really kind of, like I said, like got closer, we matured as people, we got more secure, we were like, you know what, instead of it being like a competition, let's like tell each other and help each other, you know.
And that helped us so much more. Where we are growing together and also individually. Yeah. And there's some things that she's doing which of course goes with her, the way she is, her personality, which is okay for me now, and same goes with her. Yeah. So we're just okay with it because she's like, okay, make this brand probably goes with your personality more, and this goes with my personality more, and that's how we get it. And we've come to a conclusion that that's okay.
And there's so many times when we would kind of discuss that there's like a brand query that's come for the both of us, and then they would end up going for one of us. Yeah. And we would, you know, we would have kept each other in the loop about it, like, oh, they're talking to your manager, they're talking to my manager, like what's happening? And then for whatever reason, it just wouldn't really go forward for one of us. But I think now we have reached a stage where we are like, okay, cool, like good for you, like that's fine. You know, it's not like a nasty place where we are like, oh, but like, you know, I know how much she quoted, I'll do it for 50k lesser than that. You know, it's not like that. It's really, truly reached like a point of
where we are like in a safer space.
Yeah. I'm feeling cold, so I'm just gonna grab this aesthetically placed.
I don't think a lot of people know how we met
Yeah.
the first time.
Oh my god.
You were a little baby.
I was 18.
She was 18.
She was 32.
Wow.
Age.
Wow. I was 32 and I'm 30 now. I just age backwards, I guess.
You want to talk about how we first like spoke to each other, like what happened?
You slid into my DMs.
I did not slide into your DMs.
I remember.
There is no way you can find it.
Oh no, if I get into my zone, I will find it. But I'm sure I sent a screenshot to someone or that person saying, oh my god.
You were bragging about me sliding into
One
your
second, firstly-
DM, which
firstly-
did not happen.
One second, I think, but I think you knew who I was. Way
Of course,
before.
I knew who you were. You were friends with the guy I was
No,
seeing, and also I had seen you on social media, of course.
okay.
This is
So-
like pre my
Social media. She started, I think, a year, 1.5 years later,
after
probably.
you.
Yeah.
And look at us, we're at the same place.
I love that. She was kind of going out with a friend of mine.
Who we are no longer friends with.
Okay.
Both of us.
I said, let's not name, but okay. And she just slid into my DMs saying, hey, so you're friends with him and I kind of like him. What are your opinions about this boy?
You were pretty quick to jump on this friendship because you were like, let's meet at Starbucks and talk more about it.
One second. She asked me to meet.
So I was kind of in a place where I liked two people and I
Yeah.
wanted to figure out how to go about
About
it.
it.
One I'd known for much longer and one I'd known for, that was the first time I ever met the guy.
Yeah.
And there was a vibe.
But I had no idea about the previous guy that she liked. And she asked me about the friend who's my friend. Just
Was.
About, okay. Okay.
Was your friend.
Okay.
Now we hope he
And-
dies.
You've just met this guy and you shouldn't be going for it. Of course, you have to make the other relationship work.
And of course, true to like my personality, I did exactly the opposite
opposite.
of what she said. She was like, you know, I mean, I don't know, he's obviously like a great guy, but like, I don't know how serious he is
is
about
about
this
the
because you
relationship,
only
yeah.
just met.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I went ahead and did the opposite of that, and I started seeing this guy, and
Yeah.
then we kind of became like this group.
Because it's the same circle, so we used to hang out a lot.
We would hang out a lot.
Yeah.
This is the time where I was staying in that hostel
Yeah.
where she would come stay with me,
Yeah.
visit me. There were times we actually slept on a single
Single
bed,
bed,
like the
yeah.
same single bed,
Yeah.
because there wasn't a place
We-
to sleep.
Yeah. And we don't have a choice.
Yeah. And I remember this was like the phase of, this is the most outgoing I've ever been, like that
Yeah.
phase, because I would go
Well,
out.
I'm still there.
You're probably more, you know. That's like, we used to go out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I remember.
And we used to just end up every time we used to just end up in
At
tryst
tryst,
with a red
yeah.
lipstick and black dress, little black dress.
Has it shut down?
I think so. I have no idea. I think we should ask the Gen Z now. Let us know
Are
in
you
the
guys
comments
still going
probably
to tryst?
if you guys are going to.
It's shut.
Yeah, I think it's shut.
It's done. Oh. No, yeah, so it's been like,
Quite a journey.
yeah, we've seen each other move houses, fall out of love, fall into relationships, go through bad phases financially, mentally, emotionally,
Physically.
sexually. It's just been bad.
Oh, let's not go there. I haven't gone there in a while.
I'm sorry for you.
I know. Me too.
I mean, now I don't know if anyone knows this or on our podcast, but Meghna's now moving into the same building as me. So now we're officially
I'm so
neighbors.
easily influenced.
I am truly
I
an
literally-
influencer.
That's true.
Influencer of the Year award.
You want to tell them why are we doing this podcast together?
So, okay, we've gone back and forth talking about a podcast or a reality TV show series
really
based
long
on our
time.
life for a really long time, because we think we know
That we're
we
quite
lead like a
entertaining.
really funny life. I
Yeah.
don't know if
We-
it's fun, but I
it's
know that it's a
funny.
funny life.
Yeah.
Like,
And you'll
funny
get
things happen.
you'll know that soon.
And we just thought that it was about time that we kind of brought this side of us, this side of authenticity out to everyone. And I think it's a really fun dynamic to have
Yeah.
in two people, and I think we couldn't have found a better name than the Frenemies.
Frenemies.
We were debating names like
Uninterrupted.
Uninterrupted, Unplugged,
Yeah.
you know, pun intended. It's like,
Yeah, but we came. It was either the podcast or like a stand-up comedy, but I think
but no one would pay us to
do
do
that.
stand-up comedy, and this is free.
we just entertain each other. We're just saying things and we're like, oh my god, imagine if someone heard us. That'd be amazing.
Exactly. And I think we both also kind of needed structure and routine to our lives with work. And this is like a pretty great commitment to have.
It is, and you will see. A lot
We-
of people said that we won't be committed to this, but we will. Since we live in the same building, it's just going up and down and waking each other up and
We
making sure that we do
officially
this.
have no excuses. We just thought this would be a really good way to express our opinions and have you guys see who we really are.
Yeah, and we're going to be very transparent. Or like
As I'm
translucent.
sure. Translucent.
Translucent about
is a
it.
more accurate word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
translucent about it.
I love that it'll give people an insight to our minds and not just like the aesthetic version of things that
Yeah.
everyone puts out there on Instagram because obviously like it's been said so many times but I don't think people really still have it instilled in their brains that Instagram obviously is an aesthetic version of things.
Yeah.
I am not constantly posting my thoughts like
Yeah.
I'm reposting funny memes
Yeah.
disguised as my thoughts but like you know I'm not really talking about who I am, my days, my struggles, my life, my story. People out there
Can you just not talk about me, and say us?
No, it would be a great insight to both our lives and our minds, I feel, which would, and we hope that there are a lot of young people who can kind of relate to
Yeah.
our struggles and our journeys and our aspirations in general.
Yeah, and get something out of it.
Yeah. Like money?
No. and probably learn something out of it. And let's see.
From
let's-
our failed
yeah.
experiences at life?
Wait, what? They're not fair. Look where we are.
The pink mic.
I'm just saying, but let's try and be a little kind to each other in general and not be so mean because we read some comments and it just a lot of hate and we're not here for that. We are just here to have fun, talk about things.
I think if we were going to talk about hate, it's going to be like a 7 podcast series because it's just like.
So I just want to say that let's just be nice and kind and just have fun and don't pass any comments. If you have something negative to say, just keep it to yourself because we don't want to know.
Yeah, and I anyway don't read comments most of the time, so it's fine. But my mom does,
and
and
it
she gets
hurts.
really upset.
Yeah, and I read the comments and I get upset and I think about it all day and I was like, why would someone say that? Why would you say that about me? You don't know me.
I think this is gonna be it for our first episode. We hope that you guys are gonna stick with us on this one. We'll see you guys next Sunday at 3 p.m.
Yes, but until then, show us love, follow us, subscribe, and comment good things. We'll see you next time.